You're watching an episode of Spirits People Live with Johnny Michelson.
Dun, dun, dun. Spirits Tuesday. Salute. Let's see what happens. Whiskey Novice. First to call. What's going on, buddy? Just popping my old fashioned. It's gonna warm up the palate for the battle. Alright, we got the Bourbon House. What's going on? Got Vin from No Nonsense. What's going on, buddy? So, let's see. I'm trying to get organized here. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind on stuff. Got all my notes up and running. Four Roses. Boom. Tom Profit. What's going on? JD Single Barrel. Nice one, man. I quite enjoy that. I do quite enjoy that. What's everyone else drinking? It's got Vin, got some JD Single Barrel going on. Whiskey Whims. Checking in straight from the middle of the ocean. That's awesome, dude. Hope you can hear me okay. Colin, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for the drinks last weekend. Stuart is drinking water. Probably still on the clock, are you? Alright, at least I have whiskeys joining in. Whiskey Edge is not drinking something just yet. I guess it's pretty early over there, so fair enough. Alright, so as promised, Four Roses small batch limited edition shootout. So this is my 2017 bottle, which is actually signed by Brent Elliott. So I'm a firm believer of drinking everything that I have, signed bottle or not. So there we go, 2017. Whiskey Novice is going to work soon. Oh. Well, that's just too bad. Unless you like your work. Oh, man. Colin, I feel like you're paying for all the drinks. I think I owe you one. Or two, maybe. We'll see. Second bottle up. The 2018 limited edition 130th anniversary bottling. So, this one here is fucking amazing. And it keeps on growing on me, which is why I'm kind of doing this shootout. So, people who know me will know that the 2017 for me has been one of those bottles that just sit and resonate with me as like everything I love about bourbon comes through on that. And it still does, but I think as calling it my favorite Four Roses whiskeys, it was coming to a close with the 2018. So I figured I'd do a pretty solid face off, if you will. So yeah, I'll get into it. Emma, what's going on? Thanks for joining, everyone. So I got my fact sheet here as well. So I'll throw in some facts about the two bottles. I'll also be adding a drop of water as I get into it. So the 2017, I'll start with that one because it is still categorized as my favorite. Gin night for Emma. Fair enough. Tuesday gin night. I love a good gin. I probably have a good 7 or 8 bottles in there. I do love my, I don't really drink them neat, but I drink a lot of gin cocktails, especially in the summer. Alright, so the 2017. So the oily kind of legs pulling down the glass. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but let's see. find a good light. Nah, doesn't really work. Anyway, so the oiliness of this is just beautiful. It's not overly thick as you kind of swirl around. Like the oil kind of is quick to appear and it kind of starts drawing down after like 30 seconds or so. So it's like a medium to high viscosity, which in my opinion is where it should be because it's nice and thick. So what do we have? 53.9%. So 107.3 proof. Actually, hang on. Does that make sense? No, actually it doesn't make sense. That's not double of that. Let's actually check the bottle here. My notes. 53.9%. Yeah, my ABV is right. My proof is off in my notes. So yeah, just about 54%. And it's a combination of 3 recipes. So the limited edition small batch is sometimes 3, sometimes 4. The 2018 is actually 4 recipes. So we'll get into that as we kind of get on. Oh, God. So the nose is just straight up. So if you haven't had this, for me at least, you may not get the same. But for me, this is everything classic bourbon plus a little bit extra. So a lot of dark caramel. I got a lot of cinnamon and cloves in there. A little bit of raspberries. Some red fruits for sure. Got lots of vanilla. Got some orange zest in there. And yeah, everything I love about bourbon is it's just a classic bourbon. Like there's some complexities to it that I think I kind of get to that as we get into it. Whiskey who's it? What's going on? What går det? So, Whiskey Who's It is a Danish account. So we should all greet and say skål, which means cheers in Danish, in case you're wondering. So I'm just on to the 2017, I'm just kind of nosing these two before I get into them. Neutralize my nose here. So the 2018 for me is just that little bit more complex, and a lot of it kind of lingers in the background. There's some coffee notes. There's kind of a creme brulee kind of feel in the back there, but it has a lot of the same notes that I get on the 2017. Right on, skål. So yeah, a lot of those same notes. I also have my previous note here, so let's see what I said. Overripe fruits. Maybe not yet. So this has been open for about 15, 20 minutes, maybe. So it's still kind of opening up. And also had to turn on the heat. It was a little bit cold in the office where I am right now, so I kind of make sure it's kind of opening up nicely. You have to grab a cake. Man, cake and whiskey is actually an excellent combo. I don't know what you guys like to mix with. Actually, chocolate is probably my favorite. So if I have chocolate, which is why I never have chocolate in the house, I will have chocolate with my whiskey. I have to kind of balance out. I have to choose my calories, and I definitely choose the liquid ones. So yeah, but chocolate is absolutely amazing with whiskey. So if you haven't tried that, ice cream. Oh yeah, ice cream too. Love it. I would even pour some on the ice cream. Get a little bit more oak on the 2018. So it feels a little bit more mature just on the nose. It's less sharp. And something I didn't mention about the 17, it has a light kind of minty. So I got the 17 here again. There's a minty and almost menthol-like note to it that I think is really refreshing. It's hard to explain because I normally don't like it when stuff is too sharp and too, like if there's too much mint. But in this case, for me, it just kind of strikes that balance. Oh man! All right, I'm gonna wet my palate with my old fashioned, and then I'm gonna get into it. Oh man! So single malt slacker is asking what we're drinking. So I'm doing a shoot off. I got the 2017 Four Roses limited edition small batch up against the 2018. So the reason I'm doing this is because the 2017 for a long time has been my favorite Four Roses, even more so than the Al Young. The Al Young is nice, but I personally prefer the 2017. However, the 2018 has been growing on me as I'm kind of getting into it, and as you can also see by fill level here, I've been a little bit more aggressive with the 2018. So I'm giving them a fair trial and just to kind of see whether or not the 130th anniversary bottling is my new favorite, or if it's just kind of a phase. So I'll give it a fair judgment today, and we'll see what happens. Whiskey Who's It is saying, I sense cherries in the 2018. Yeah, I get that. There's a lot of, for me, the 2018 has a lot of complexity. There's a lot of dried fruits, and there's probably a lot of darker fruits as well. I get more probably like dates and raisins and stuff like that. I'm not sure whether or not I'll get cherries, but I'll kind of look out for it. All right, so I'll give a sip. Man. Yeah, that's great. So I never really want to judge anything on the first sip, but man, it's good. Whiskey Who's It is asking, have you tried the 2016 against the 2018? Well, I have. And I did it live with the Bourbon Patty, and you can watch it on spiritspeople.com/live. There's a previous episode where we did a kind of master shootout between a whole range of bottles. So 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18. And I think also Martinez did the Al Young. So we did a whole range. Kind of just compared all of them. The 2016 is not my favorite. It's probably my least favorite, to be honest. There's something off about that for my palate. It doesn't work for me. But yeah, the 2018 definitely works. So yeah, here we are. So I'm gonna have a look at my previous notes for the 2017 here as I get into it. So on the nose, what I've noted down, and these are notes actually from the last live session I did with Martinez that you can check it out on it's on the website spiritspeople.com/live. So we did kind of tasting notes across the board. And this one here, I gave it on the nose, fruity and floral, minty, / menthol and oaky. So I think those are kind of simple notes. I think we did it live, so I probably didn't capture all of it, but like I'm kind of missing all of that sweetness, like all the vanilla, all the caramel, all that kind of spiciness that comes with the lots of cinnamon, a little bit of clove actually, not as much clove as I remember, but a lot of cinnamon on it. So I didn't really capture that. So on the palate, what I wrote down previously was fruity, cinnamon and caramel, and oak. All right, Lee, what's going on, man? Walker, what's going on, dude? So we got the thirsty Belgian in the house. Thanks for hanging out last weekend. Good times. Whiskey Hype, what's going on, man? So yeah, I'm on the 2017 Four Roses limited edition small batch. I'm putting it up against the 2018 bottle. So the 17, yeah, it's more floral now. It's kind of opening up, and like I'll give it a go now because I've only really had one sip. Man, it's such a beautiful, beautiful drink. And this is my last bottle as well, which is why I probably haven't gone into it that much. I had several bottles of the 2017. This is my last one, and it's signed as well. So the finish is beautiful. There's like a lot of cracked black peppercorns, a little bit of dark chocolate, kind of lingering on. Ay, ay, ay. A lot of that sweetness, like the caramel, is just coming through. Oh, my laptop. Yeah, a lot of that sweetness coming through. A little bit of that raspberries and some red fruits coming through. The mintiness is kind of disappearing a little bit, which is probably why I don't mind it. It's not overpowering, it's present, but it's not like one of those overly minty, like some Old Forester and stuff like that tends to have minty flavors for me for some reason. Doesn't have that. It's a different kind of minty characteristic, which is a little bit more warm, almost like an after eight chocolate. So when you have the mint, the chocolate kind of dulls it down a little bit and just becomes like a sweet mint rather than like a very, very overly fresh menthol kind of thing. Oh man! So there's a reason this has been my favorite for 2 years now, and it's just a balance. Like everything from start to finish is just a beautiful kind of journey. Like the same notes kind of travel through from the nose all the way through to that finish. But not only that, like new things kind of appear on the way, but the original flavors doesn't go away. I really, really like that. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna put it away before I smash its glass. Walker, are you having a morning drink over there? Walker's in Chicago. I'm gonna sip a little bit of this old fashioned here. Cool down my palate. So when I get into the 2018, I'm gonna add a couple of drops to this. Let that let that get into the 2017. 5 drops. 5 drops is the magic number for me. People have different opinions. So essentially what a lot of people will say is that you put as much water in the whiskey when you're trying to judge it until the burn is gone. So I tend to give it 5 drops because I only have, it's probably about 20 mils left in this, maybe a little bit less. So 5 drops should be just fine. Helm's Deep 68 says 2018 is the best since 2015. Well, I would disagree because I definitely prefer the 2017. However, the 2018 right now is what's being judged. So I'm trying to figure out whether or not the 2018 is in fact my new favorite Four Roses, as the 17 was my previous one. So jamming through it, a lot of the 2017 notes that I'm getting now is a lot of the same notes that I've been getting throughout, and the stuff that I love about it is the same as I love today, as it was years ago when I tasted it for the first time. So, yeah, but I've been really digging into the 2018 lately, so I just kind of wanted to put them up against each other. So I have some preconceptions of what I might find, and some of my hypotheses would be that the 2018, although I love it a lot, is complex to the point where it's a little bit more hard work. And what I really like about the 2017 is that although it's quite high strength, it's almost 54%, it's a super easy drinker, and it's not one-dimensional. Although it has all of those classic flavors, it kind of develops throughout, as I was just saying a second ago. Like the journey it kind of takes you on as you drink it. And you get the flavors from the nose all the way into the back, as long as new things as you go along. So it's not just a daily drinker kind of thing where it's a little bit too one-dimensional. But the 2018, I have been drinking it quite a lot recently. So maybe it is not as complex as I wanted it to be hard work, if that makes sense. All right, let's do this. So, speaking about recipes, so the 2018 is 4 different recipes, and the 2017 is only 3. So this has been varying for ever since they started. I think there's probably more of the releases that has 4 in it. So it's probably like 60-40 in terms of 4 recipes versus 3. And they're all different. Like none of them. All right, Stuart, no worries, man. Stuart is using all the Wi-Fi on the oil rig. So yeah, they're all different. So this one here, 2018, is 4 recipes: OBSV, OBSF, OESV, and OESK. The predominant recipe is a 13-year-old OBSV. It's 40% of this is that recipe. Let's see, yeah, so the 2017, as Lee here, Thirsty Belgian, is pointing out, the 2017 is only the OE. So it's only the, let's see here, I have it down here. So the E mash is 75% corn and 20% rye. So the 17 doesn't have any of the high rye recipes in it, which is interesting. I don't know what to make of that, as in like when I drink it, but I find it interesting. I should do more of a scientific taste off at some point. Lee, maybe you and I can do that. But yeah, so the 2018 is, let's see here, it's only 30% of the E mash bill. The B is 70%. So yeah, it is a different, and maybe some of that rye actually is what makes this to me more of a complex bourbon, because the rye adds a lot of the spice, whereas the corn is a lot more of the sweeter notes and stuff like that. So maybe that's the difference. Barrel selection matters. Absolutely. So Four Roses are single storage rick houses, so it matters less, and it's brick. So it's not as different as you would think versus other distilleries. So if you look at other big ones like Jim Beam or Buffalo Trace that has like six storage rick houses, it's a much more variant selection that you would get. But yeah, this shouldn't matter as much. I'm sure it matters, but I don't think it matters as much. So I'm just looking at it now. So I think a similar oiliness to the 2017. It's quite viscous. It took about, again, like 30 seconds before the oil starts dragging down. So like a medium to high viscosity on it. We'll try it. Ay, ay, ay. Oh man, that's good. This is dangerous now. So first sip, I definitely think this is a massive contender. Yeah, creme brulee. It's a lot more like vanilla, custardy notes on this. Orange peel, kind of fresh oils from an orange peel. Let's see my previous notes. What did I have? Overripe fruit, creme brulee, vanilla and oak. And then I had some dried pear, mint, which I don't get. So those are my previous notes. Cinnamon and green apples, and sweet apricot. Maybe some of that apricot actually. There's definitely something. There's definitely like a lot of fruity sweetness. It's not as floral as the 2017. Yeah, man, absolutely agree. Like a lot of those fruits are kind of sitting underneath. It's like a layer of beautiful custard, creme brulee, like a dessert, ice cream dessert, like whatever that is. And then once you get into it, like lots of fruit, lots of like floral notes. Yummy. This is definitely a good contender. So I think the 2017 is in trouble now. We'll see with a dash of water. Orange blossom. I'm not getting that. But I could see that in there. All right, I'm drinking too much of this. All right, I'm gonna add a dash of water, and then we'll see what happens. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 drops, magic number. Everyone should have one of these, especially if you're doing tastings or any kind of comparisons where you're like evaluating. I find it really, really helpful to be able to control the water that you put into the glass. Okay, so I drank water before the finish was finished. That was a mistake. But the finish was long. There was a long finish on that. My previous notes: apricot, apple, pears, vanilla, mint, cinnamon. I'm not sure about the apple and pears. I definitely get the apricot, and I definitely get a little bit of mint actually on the back end of this. Whereas actually that's the first hint of mint I've gotten on the 2018. There was a lot more on the 17, but as I mentioned before, it's kind of like an after eight where the mintiness is kind of blended in with like a nice and sweet chocolate. 4 roses, fresh raspberries. Yeah, I could see that. Northern bourbon, having a laugh. All right. I hope you're laughing at me. So we got some Canadians in the house. Bobby's Windows. Got Northern bourbon. Who else do we have? Let's see. Whiskey hype in here still. I don't know. What's going on? Good morning, Canada. So, moment of truth. So the 2018, I would say, if we were to stop the evaluation right now, I would say the 2018 takes the 2017 for me. Oy, oy, oy. There we go. Opens up the sweetness. So this is where I think it's going to make a difference. So a lot more caramel now that I got the water in there. A lot more vanilla. A lot more of the citrus kind of oils, like orange oils from the peel. The mintiness is there. The oak is gone. Oh wow. Spiciness on the finish. Yeah, a lot of black pepper, some coffee beans maybe. It's a little bit of an opening on the bitter notes. In a good way though. Oh man, that's still very, very nice. So this is 54.3 or 53.9%. Let's see what the 2018 is. It's 54.2. So it's 0.3 difference in ABV, which is not a lot. So they're pretty much the same. Pretty much the same ABV. So I would say with a dash of water, this still has a very long finish. It keeps on going. But the oak is gone. Do they proof it down after batching? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that it is batch proof. And I can't remember if it was the 17 or the 16 where there was a 0.1 difference between the release in the US and the release over here because of the duration it took for them to release the first batch. Whether or not that was in Europe or in the US, I can't remember. So I'm pretty sure that it actually comes off the VAT as whatever percentage it is. I cannot remember what year. Maybe it was the 2017. Maybe it was the 2017. There was a 0.1 difference between the US release and releases elsewhere. And I tried them both, and I could not tell the difference. In case you're wondering. But yeah, I think everything with a dash of water, except for the oak. So what I'll do now is I'll add 5 more dashes. So the reason I'm doing this is I'm trying to evaluate whether or not there are some obvious flaws in the drink here. 1, 2, 5. So if you dilute it down, which if you've been to a distillery or you know how they kind of do tastings before they do blends and stuff like that, so they will probably dilute it all the way down by like almost 60% or something like that. Because the more water you add, the more of the kind of bad notes will be highlighted. So what they do is like they add more water to see if any of their bourbons have some bad characteristics that they don't want to use in their blends. So we'll see what happens there. So while the 2017 with 10 drops of water sits and mellows for a bit, I'm going to dig into the 18 again. Yeah, it's a pretty. I'm not sure if it's a low barrel strength. Like 54% is decent. I don't mind it being higher. I'm definitely a barrel strength by preference person. Walker, baby alarm going off. Go take care of that little girl. So, 2018, 5 drops of water. So the nose is a lot weaker now. So the nose up front before was very, very punchy. It was a lot of sweetness, a lot of that vanilla sweetness like the creme brulee. And it's a lot weaker now. So in comparison to the 2017, like a lot of the notes were actually, I wouldn't say they're the same intensity as without water, but it wasn't far off. Like this one here, definitely dulled down a little bit with the water. Not on the palate. The palate is just fine. I actually think there is very little to no difference on the palate. Beautiful. But the nose is a weird one. It's very light. But the palate is full strength. Almost no difference. The finish kind of lingers a little bit. It's a little bit softer. Yeah, the oak is gone too. So it's not a lot of difference in profile. I think some of the things that kind of come through on the palate a little bit more is it's almost overly sweet. It's almost like the creme brulee it's almost like a one dessert kind of thing now. It's almost like the creme brulee is overpowering. Finish. The finish now is more bitter. Water. I have a pipe straight from Scotland here. I wish. This is, it's filtered and boiled. So I don't know why I boil it. I just do it. I tend to find that it makes the water a little bit softer. But yeah, it's also filtered. So the water in the UK is very, very hard. So there's a lot of lambscale in there, or whatever that is, the thing that scales. And sometimes I'll buy like bottles of water and then I'll filter that through a Brita filter and then I'll boil that too. But yeah, I would love to get some limestone water. I know you can buy bottles of it in the US. I don't think you could get it over here. 5, so up to 10 drops now in the 2018 as well. So surprisingly, actually, because I was almost about to name the 2018 my new favorite, but I think it's a little bit off balance, to be honest. Yeah, man, I'd love to get some of that limestone water. I'm not sure if it's going to be a big impact on my my Tuesday night tastings, but just because, you know. Yeah, the nose is almost gone now. Helm's Deep, dude. I'll ping you. When are you around and when are you back? I'm not sure where you're based. Yeah, the nose is almost gone on the 2018. 10 drops of water. All right. Swirl that around. Copenhagen. All right. I'm based in London. Well, I guess you could, if you wanted to, you could ship some over, but only if you don't mind. Ah, Sack. Right on. Sorry, I didn't recognize your name there. Yep. So we got Nordic Bourbon Community represented in the house. Awesome. Got British Bourbon Society as well. We got some guys from Toronto. Got people from all over here. It's awesome. So, I apologize if I haven't been able to catch up with all the comments. But, in case you're wondering, this is what I'm drinking. So, got the 2018, 2017 Four Roses. Limited edition small batch. And we're doing a face-off. And so far, it's looking pretty good for my previous and current favorite, 2017, as the 2018 is falling a little bit short with the water. Yeah, Lee, you're in Poland. How was your trip, man? Almost 5 in New York. Dude, it's 5 o'clock. You know what that means? All right, so I'm also going to get into my giveaway in a second. Gonna finish these off, but just so everyone knows, there is a weekly giveaway, and because I've been away for a while, I was back. Tuesday last week was my first week back in London for over a month. I was in Singapore working down there. So I have the Spirits People tote bag. Has a handle. And I give one of these away every week for people using the hashtag Spirits Tuesday. As you may have seen my posts or stories, you can join this, and you can join as many times as you want, and all you have to do is post a picture of 2 bottles. Use the hashtag Spirits Tuesday. That's it. So I'll draw 2 winners in a second. I'll finish these. I won't finish these, but I'll finish my face off. I'll have 1 sip of each, and then we'll get into the giveaway, and then I'll wrap it up for tonight. Ay, ay, ay. All right, so 2017. Nose is getting a bit weak. The palate, oh my god, the palate's still beautiful. Still a lot on there. It's a little bit more bitter now. So a lot of the bitter notes are coming out. But I don't really get Diet Pepsi. Alright, I do not have a Diet Pepsi, but if I did, I would definitely be up for the test. The finish is a little bit shorter. The nose is a little bit weaker. But the palate is still beautiful. It's a little bit more minty now, actually. It's a little bit of that. It's starting to become a little bit more sharp on the minty notes. So it is becoming a little bit more like a menthol. All right. 2018. Last go. Last hurrah. Let's see what happens. This is strangely interesting. The nose is kind of unchanged from before. It's almost like it's opened up again. But it really only smells like caramel. How weird is that? Oh man. The palate is still beautiful. Oh, it's very bitter. Oh, it's very bitter. Okay, it's a little bit too much bitterness. It's almost like eating a handful of peppercorns. Okay. All right, I think that's the answer. 2017 remains my favorite. I think everything about it, from nose to 5 drops, 10 drops of water, everything, palate, finish, everything seems to be very well balanced. I think potentially without the water and without having kind of dissected both of them, like they're probably about equal. Sack is saying the wife agrees on the bitterness. Man, it is very bitter. I don't know if have you tried adding some water in there? Like that's definitely, yeah, I would probably advise against putting too much water in the 2018. I think the 17 can handle it, but if I drink either of these, I wouldn't add any water to it, to be honest. I would drink them as is. But sometimes it's fun to play around with these kind of things. Just add some water, experiment, discover, explore, all of those good things. Kind of have fun with it. So yeah, that's it. Got a little bit left. I don't know. I might do this. Let's blend them. See what happens. There we go. Taste and blend. So we have now a mix or a blend of these two and this one. So I don't have high hopes for that, to be honest, but why not? I'm not going to throw it out. Might let it sit for a bit. All right, cool. So, 6 recipes. Ooh, how many? Okay, I would have to do some math. Yes. No. Wait. 5. OESK. 2017, that's 5 recipes. No, it's 4 recipes. Okay, this is not the time to do math. It's the time to do a giveaway, though. So let's do this. So I'll do 2 giveaways. So I am behind, so I'll do 2. Next week I'll do 2 as well on the Tuesday. The following week I'll do 2, and then I'm back to 1. So I think that's about it. I'm caught up. So yeah, I was away, so I missed a bunch of stuff while I was in Singapore, so I apologize for that. I'm also on back order with the printers on these, so hopefully they'll be in print next week. Let's hope. Let's pray to the bourbon gods and the printing gods, or whatever. So let's see. So I need to get into. I have it. It's unplugged, and I have a laptop here. So I'm gonna need an assistant. So whoever posts 2 bottles of whiskey glasses in the comment will be my personal assistant to help me choose a winner. So whoever's the first to do that, 2 whiskey glasses in the comments, you get to choose the first winner. So while you do that, I am gonna get the spreadsheet up and running. All right, 44. Let's see. Bourbon House, I see you first. I don't know, this could be a connection thing, but Bourbon House is the person I see. So Bourbon House, if you will, please give me a number between 2 and 44. Both numbers included. So that's 2 and 44. And then I will scramble the list. So right now it's alphabetically ordered. And then we'll see what happens. Bourbon House says 8. Oh, shit. So, just so you know, I'm not cheating. Bourbon House, you've chosen yourself. Ay, 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 caramba. Bourbon House, well done, man. This is, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. Oh, gosh. All right, so let me just do that. And I'm gonna get these. Okay, I'm doing a poor job right now at being spreadsheet master and an Instagrammer, however. Okay, there we go. So, not rigged at all. Everything is rigged in this world, man. There's no such thing as random luck. This was all planned. All right, Bourbon House, you're on the list. You have won a Spirits People tote bag. So we need to choose. We need another winner. So hold on, I need to randomize the list again. So there we go. And I'll show you this. So just so we can see, here we have Bourbon House is now marked in green. And the formatting is shit, but it's a random list. And we'll pick a number from this list. And unless it is Bourbon House that's picked again, we'll pick another number. So everyone except for Bourbon House, let's see another 2 emojis posted. And this time it's this one. Give me 2 of these and you will be my personal assistant to choose the second winner of the night. And that was this one. Let's see what happens. Drams and drips. Solid. All right. Let's hear it. Between 2 and 44. Both numbers included. Give us a number for the second winner. The winner of the Spirits People tote bag. The tote bag that took me 3 months to source. Once I finally sourced it, got the first batch printed, they ran out of stock. So yay for luck. Drams and Drips says 23. All right. All right, so let's bring it up here. 23. I don't know if it will zoom. It says Boba Fett. What does it say? Boba Fett 2K6. All right. So Boba Fett 2K6, you are the second winner of the Spirits People tote bag. As I said, it's currently in back order, but as soon as it's printed, it will be on its way. I'll be reaching out to you guys separately on DMs, and I'll get your address, and we'll sort that shit out once it is ready. So, 2017, still my number one. Not overly surprised, but I will say I gave it a fair shot. Oh shit, that's Aiden. I didn't know that. All right. Aiden, congrats, man. I have no idea. I cannot see the connection between Boba Fett 2K6 and Aiden, but maybe there's a story there. Maybe we need to hear that. All right, cool. So I am actually on a 2-minute countdown. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to say that next week on Tuesday, we have Rum Diaries back. So we'll be talking rum. So me and Steven haven't caught up for a couple of months now, almost. I would say a month and a half. So it'll be good to catch up with him. And also, if you haven't noticed, I'm wearing a Spirits People Live t-shirt. And if you join me on one of these live sessions as a guest, you will get one of these. So this is a 45, maybe an hour of hanging out. I wouldn't call it an interview, more like a chat and a drink. So if you want to join me in one of these sessions, let me know. They do not happen on Tuesdays. They can, however, happen at any other time. So we just have to plan it out. So if you want to join me, just reach out. And yeah, you'll get one of these t-shirts. So all the previous guests, there's a t-shirt in the mail for you guys right now. And yeah, I hope it reaches you safely. So until then, until next Tuesday with Steven, I hope you guys enjoyed my shootouts. And yeah, thanks for catching up. See you guys next week. Peace.
watching this episode of Spirits People Live. For more videos, check out spiritspeople.com, subscribe on YouTube, and be sure to follow us on Instagram, where we connect you with spirits people worldwide.